Hey guys, thanks for joining Two Girls, One Quest. I'm Alicia Soto-Lewis and I'm interviewing a very, very good friend of mine while on the road to Boston. This is my friend
Lalo Lopez. You can follow me on all of my social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Periscope, which is my main forum, at Lalo Lopez Live.
Exactly. So Lalo, the reason why I wanted to bring him is because, like I said, we want to talk to different people in the industry. So it's not just about actors, producers, people on film. It's also all levels, all areas, right?
All levels of public, show business or social media. Yeah.
So while I'm here in Boston, I will be here with my buddy, and hopefully we can get other interviews, not just one, but we'll see what happens. So Lalo, talk a little bit about yourself, just a little bit of who you are and how we know each other.
So we met in Catholic school when we were very young. You're probably one of my longest friends.
Yes.
And now I live here in Boston, and I travel up and down the East Coast, and I typically post on Periscope, which is a video blog app that's owned by Twitter, actually.
Huh.
And I do anything from book readings, cooking. I do, sometimes I'll just drink coffee and chat with, with the audience.
It's live. It's
live.
Basically live broadcasting.
Yeah, it's live broadcasting, and you can live comment as well.
And not everybody knows about Periscope, but it's kind of cool.
I would say it's like a niche app, but the people who use it and are into it are really, really into it. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's really great. So, to start the interview, how did you get into this? Because when I knew him, he had a crappy little phone, and I remember when you started this, and I was like, what are you doing? But it was
right, because
cool.
I was never into social media. I didn't have Instagram. I never had Twitter. I had a Facebook that I never used, that I still don't use, which is another story. But I actually got into it because I always wanted to be on TV or have my own show, but I wasn't like... I wasn't ambitious enough to go to Hollywood and really do it, right? But I was like, oh, so you could just have your own TV show anytime you want on this app. And I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I started it, but the thing about social media for me is that I never found a social media platform that I really enjoyed until I discovered Periscope. So while I had mucked around on Twitter before or Facebook before, I never found a connection with the app. So that I would say would be my first recommendation to anyone who's looking to be like a social media influencer, is to look for the app, look for the social media platform that you enjoy.
Yes.
Because otherwise that's not like gonna work.
Otherwise it'll be work, and it's not gonna be easy for you.
That, and it's also because the reality is that when you start on a platform like this, if your goal is to make money and make this your job, you're still not gonna make money initially. Like, it's a lot of time and effort.
Of course.
At first, before you ever get to that level of making money, and so therefore you have to enjoy it first.
Of course, that makes sense.
You have to enjoy the community that you're on, the platform that you're on, and the other content creators within that platform.
So how many, or let me ask you this, how many followers would you say you started with and that you have now?
So initially on Periscope, you always start with 0.
Okay.
And because I didn't have any type of social media presence on Twitter or
Instagram
anyone
or
else,
anything,
so they didn't cross over. There was no crossover. So I started out with 0 about 3 years ago, and now I have 6,500 followers.
That's great.
So I wouldn't say I'm like the high top tier person on Periscope, but I'm sort of in the middle.
Yeah, that's great though.
Yeah.
Especially because Periscope isn't like Instagram where there's millions, right?
Right. Periscope, like I said, it is owned by Twitter, but it is a niche app. Yeah. So it's not a huge audience like YouTube or something like that.
Okay.
It's a pretty good number that I have.
Okay. So one thing we were talking about earlier was networking, because in all aspects of this business, of showbiz, you need to network. Well, even like us, yes, we're best friends, but I mean, it's all important. Look, you're doing something for me. I mean, networking is great.
Right, yeah.
How does that, I guess, come up or translate in Periscope?
So Periscope
anything,
is a
really.
smaller community, so it's a little easier to get to know people and become friends with them. But what I would first suggest, if you're trying to network in whatever type of public persona platform, is that you really want to try to make an authentic connection.
Okay.
Really try to become authentically friends with them, or really message people that you feel you have a connection with on some level, whether it's that they like all your posts, or whether it's that you really like their content and you're trying to give them feedback. But don't try to reach out with people just because they have like a ton of followers, or because they're super famous or whatever, because people see right through that. They see that you're trying to use them. And if anything, if you do approach someone like that, approach them with something that you can offer them.
Makes sense.
Because people like that are constantly trying to get used or to be used by other people. So if you're instead offering something to them, they're going to see that as more of like they're not just trying to get at me, they're trying to boost me up.
Makes sense.
That would
so with networking, like we're saying, what has come out of it for you? Because I know that there's been a couple things, I don't know, when you've talked to certain people, like haven't you gotten a painting that was really beautiful?
Right.
And
So like it's been things like I've been sent gifts or whatever through to my P.O. box. That's one thing. I've just become authentically friends with people outside of social media.
Too.
I've visited them, we've hung out, and having nothing to do with like us, nothing to do. Sometimes it's mutual beneficial to try to get followers from each other, and other times it's really just like,
to hang
let's
out.
be friends, and we meet up, and we don't broadcast, we don't get on Periscope at all when we meet. And then other times, I mean, professionally, I've had people who for instance, Lady Danny, a woman named Lady Danny, you can go and follow her on Twitter or Periscope or Instagram, and she's at Lady Danny 1, Danny DANNI 1. Okay. So Lady Danny, she has a business where she sells like soaps and things that are made out of all natural essential oils. And she
told me about that.
And she has sent me a lot of her products for free just so I can try them out and give her feedback. And she's like, she doesn't like, I don't have a contract with her to say like, oh, you have to like that I have to talk about them and promote them.
Yeah.
She sends them because she really is authentically looking for my feedback, and if I choose to talk about them, then I can. And I do, because I really do use them.
You do use them. You've told me about them as friends.
I've used soaps. I've used some of a scalp treatment that she sent me that was all natural. So you can go to her page if you'd like to as well.
Yeah, very cool.
So see, and she doesn't even know I'm talking about her right now.
And then what? I know, right? Exactly.
So,
and what about? Don't you have a book coming out?
Yes. So I also. It was funny. I became friends with these two people who. Who were broadcasting on Periscope, not for their business or whatever. They were just broadcasting. I became friends with them in real life, and then afterwards they don't even post on Periscope anymore. But now they've started a publishing company, and they've offered me a contract to write my memoir.
That is so great.
Right.
So
so it's like sometimes you never know what channel is going to open up, and even though I always thought like I wanted to write a book, I never was, I never
pursued it.
I never pursued it. You're right. I never looked for a publisher. I never even really wrote very much. But it was always something on the back burner that I was hoping to do. Yeah. And it just kind of fell into my life because of Periscope.
Yeah. Very cool.
So
I don't know what's going on here. It looks like it got a little dark. Maybe my phone's getting hot or something. So we'll finish up this interview.
Maybe it's just the lighting.
It's the sun has moved. Man, come on. All right. Well, sorry about that, guys. But also, let me move this a little bit.
I could just hold it.
Lastly,
here, I'll hold it. I have
like
longer arms.
Okay. So lastly, what I wanted to ask was, what advice would you like to give the viewer, the reader, just advice with Periscope or Life, or what do you
with
think?
Life, I would say you really need to, if you're trying to get on social media or have a presence on social media, whatever the platform it is, you need to be open to changing your content around.
Okay.
So maybe you started off writing about travel, but it turns out you get more clicks writing about, art.
Okay.
Then maybe it's like, okay, maybe I should focus on art because the audience seems to like it.
You talking about art.
You talking about art. Yeah. And then you could be like, well, then what types of art are there? Or what types of art am I good at? Or what haven't I talked about yet that revolves around art? Or
because I've noticed you've changed yours in Instagram, right?
Right, because before for work, I used to travel a lot more than I do now. So I used to go to more cities, bigger cities, and I would therefore see a lot more museums and, tourist attractions. So when I first got on Periscope, I would do more like travel, touristy type video blogging. But now I'll do more of like book readings. I'll do cultural type, I'll cook fusion food or something like that at home. Yeah. So it still is like a cultural travel type vlogging, but more of how to live like an international cultured lifestyle from home, because I'm home more than I used to be.
And it's all stuff that you like, that you're actually into.
Right, exactly.
You're not faking it. How about that?
And that's the other thing. You need to make sure that you are still passionate about the content itself, because people are going to look right through it and see right through it if you don't actually care about what you're talking about.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for this interview. I loved it.
I did too.
Well, thank you. And thank you everybody for watching. And please, if you're on Periscope or even on Instagram or the other handles, what is your...
at Lalo Lopez Live on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Periscope. I think that's everything.
Yeah. Lalo's a cool dude, man. You want to check him out. But thank you guys so much, and I'll be back with Stephanie soon. Like I said, right now I am road tripping, so I am in Boston now, and we'll talk to others soon.
We're on Periscope right now.
Right now we are on Periscope.
We're live streaming this interview right now on Periscope, so you can check me out anytime if you want. Look, check out the hearts. So I'll see you. There you go. Yep.
Well, thank you guys so much, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. Thank you, Lalo. Bye.
Bye.